To the casual observer, Guam's swimming community functions, well, swimmingly. There's a rich, decades-long history of success at all competitive levels, a laundry list of familiar names who have competed collegiately and internationally, swimming for our island at the highest tier as Olympians. But beneath the surface of this subset of the local sports family, a messy controversy involving emotion, politics, miscommunication, and hearsay has already upended this community of athletes and the coaches nurturing their development. At hand are sanctions handed down to the swimmers and coaches from Amphibious Aquatics, who participated in the Summer Swim Splash in the Philippines this past April, bringing home a hefty amount of medals. The Amphibious Club was created after the pandemic, supported by the Guam Governor's Child Care Grant as a privately held water confidence program to teach anyone wanting to learn to swim, not just elite-level competitors. The governing body is the Guam Swimming Federation, having jurisdiction over the island's 3 local swim clubs, as well as a pair of military clubs. So, here's the rub. Amphibious Aquatics isn't one of those member teams. The Federation asserts that its code of conduct, which limits athletes belong to one club and one club only, was violated, as they maintain several swimmers racing in the PI did so under the Amphibious banner while still belonging to local clubs without proper permission. So, there's the issue. An ad hoc committee within the Federation met and determined the policy prevails for athletes needing to belong to a single club when competing. They also recommended sanctioning the parents and athletes about future dual participation, as well as a 3-year suspension of Amphibious coaches Andy Lee and Chris Duenas from coaching Federation swimmers at off-island meets. In fact, 2 parents of participating swimmers said they only heard about the action against them anecdotally.
And so really, where did we hear it? Like through the grapevine. We're hearing these bits and pieces. I've never been contacted. Have you been contacted?
Not personally. Through the same, through just, we have a parents chat that we communicate a lot, and I think a lot of information came from there. Nothing officially came from any board or any member that was involved in the board.
It goes without saying that because the dispute at hand involves youth athletes, it's going to be an emotional matter. Parents are also up in arms because they say there's been no opportunity to be heard about the sanctions.
My 10-year-old, if she wants to compete, has to list that she was sanctioned. Like if she wants to compete in school or compete later on, I mean, this is going to be on her record.
It could play into any future eligibility requirements that they get down the line. If one swimmer has this and somebody else has that on their record, it could.
And of course, a rift in the swimming community couldn't come at a more delicate time as Guam athletes continue to prepare for the Pacific Games this November, as well as trying to qualify for next summer's Olympics.
This was not a GSF meet. We swam under Amphibious Aquatics. That is not a GSF member. It was like a group, an organization that the Philippine Swim League, God bless them, they invited Amphibious Aquatics. The announcement went out, people showed up, and we listened to the briefing and said, hey, this sounds like a lot of fun. So that's what we did. Our kids worked so hard. They trained for a long time.
The Guam Swimming Federation has not commented publicly on the matter, standing by their consensus decision and recommendation actions. GSF President Ed Ching informed KUM News that the participating athletes were issued warnings, but that they are not actively under sanction. However, the Federation did note the suspension recommendation for the coaches is in effect. Several parents have submitted as many as 8 formal complaints to the Guam National Olympic Committee in the hopes they might be granted an audience with whom to appeal. Legal action against the Federation is also possible if said sanctions are not rescinded. So it seems like the entire issue comes down to a core dispute. The emotion of parents trying to seek justice for a wrong that they believe was done to their kids.
You train, you work hard, you go and have a great time. This is wrong.
Against the stability of the policy governing how teams are structured and how managing competition should flow.